The JBL Link Bar combines 4 different products into one: a Google Home, a Chromecast, an Android TV, as well as a great sound system. In this video, we're going to check out what's good and what's bad about this Dream Team setup. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. So over a year ago, JBL announced that it was going to create this all-in-one solution that would be the perfect setup for any TV or entertainment room. So since that day, I've been waiting to pick up this, so I went out and purchased this. I ordered it right from JBL to see what it's all about, to see if it is the all-in-one device that I have been waiting for. Now, starting off, I do want to say that I knew that there was going to be a few problems getting into this, as Google has not announced an official solution to have all of these products in one. Google is more of a get your Chromecast and get your Google Home device and have those work between each other, but it hasn't really come up with a way to link all of those and an Android TV in one. So this is kind of a solution that works for now, but I definitely hope there will be some improvements, and we're gonna get into all of that. Now, because this is a device that has multiple different functions, we're gonna cover each of them in different sections so that you can see what is good and what is bad about each of them. So first up, let's talk about the soundbar and the Android TV and getting it all set up. So inside the box, you do have the JBL Link Bar, you have the power cable, a remote control, as well as the batteries, an HDMI cable, a quick start guide, as well as a little sheet to help you mount the soundbar. Now, that was one of my first worries of getting a soundbar. I had this nice TV mounted on the wall. It's really clean, so adding a soundbar to it, I wasn't sure how that was going to be. And well, all of my worries were true. First off, it only came with the 2 screws and the little brackets that you need. It didn't come with like any anchors or anything like that. So after installing it just like that, it fell down pretty much. And so I reinstalled it. I put some anchors on, and then a few days later, a neighbor kid came by and was holding on the soundbar, and it sunk down again. So after all the nightmares of mounting a soundbar came true and having it fall down 2 times, I headed down to Home Depot and I picked up some of these anchors that were able to withstand 60 pounds of weight in drywall. So installing both of those on each side, then remounting it to the wall, I have had no issues since then. Of course, nobody's pulled on it or anything like that, but I would say that it is a pretty solid install. So make sure you get some anchors if you're going to install this. I also installed this little tube back here that I Velcroed to the wall so that it would hide all of the cables, as you should have this a little bit far away from your TV so you can still access the buttons on the top. Now, the soundbar itself is 1020 millimeters or about 40 inches. It does have 100 watts of power. It has Bluetooth 4.2, Wi-Fi connectivity, is able to output in 4K. And then here on the back of the device, you have the power cable input, you have the ARC cable output, so this is going to plug directly into your TV. It has 3 HDMI inputs. It also has an optical input, and then it also has an auxiliary input as well. So it pretty much has every port that you would need on a soundbar like this. Now, once you have it plugged in and set up to your TV, now you will go through the Android TV setup process. Now, Android TV is my favorite device to set up. All you need to do is open your Google app and activate the assistant and say, set up my device. It will then automatically find the Android TV and start linking it with your Wi-Fi network and your Google account. So it makes it really easy. Now, during this process, the first time I did have a problem where it then wouldn't connect to my remote. So I did just have to reboot the device and then hold down a few buttons on the remote, and it was able to connect no problem. While I was setting up the Android TV, instantly the Link Bar started playing this awesome sound, and you could really tell how nice the sound quality is from this device. And I'll cover this a little bit more, but compared to using the TV sound for so long, having this soundbar really sounds amazing. I've been very impressed by the sound quality that comes out of this. And so if you have just a TV that you're using, it's going to really improve your sound quality as you have in your room, and it really fills up this full room, and you can definitely tell the bass is a lot more than anything we've ever had up here. So I'm really excited about the sound quality coming out of there. Now, once you have the Android TV set up, it will go through some updates and some other things, but then you have access to the Google Play Store, as well as tons of applications that you're used to using on your phone, as well as other streaming devices. So now we're going to talk about navigating through the Android TV. So that's one of the reasons I like Android TV, is because it has a full remote with navigation. So on this remote, you have the power controls, you have a Netflix button, you can quickly change the HDMI, just pushing the HDMI button, and you can go through all the different HDMIs there. And then you could also jump between the optical and the auxiliary as well. And then navigating, you can go up and down, and you push the middle button to select. Now, one interesting thing about Android TV is there is no pause and play button. That is just the center button. So if you ever want to pause and play, you just push that. Now down here, we have a back button, a Google Assistant button, home, as well as a mute, volume, and Bluetooth audio, so you can quickly get to your Bluetooth. And now, as you can see, it actually activated the Google Assistant when I said Google Home for some reason, but you do have a mute switch on the soundbar itself. So let's talk about what's on top of the soundbar. So here you have a input button, so you can quickly change the input. You have the Bluetooth button to switch to Bluetooth, maybe your Bluetooth from your phone. You do have volume controls and the mute switch right there. And then you have the two far-field microphones on the top. And then whenever you mute the switch button, you will see the 4 orange dots on the front of the JBL Link Bar so that you know it is muted and it cannot hear you if you are trying to activate it by voice. Now let me talk about the remote for a second. So this does work over Bluetooth. So far it's worked pretty good, except for when I'm in the far chair in the room. For some reason it can't work. So it should work about 30 feet away. That's pretty much on the border there. So I have had some issues with that, but overall it has worked really well. I do wish it was slightly smaller, similar to like the Amazon Fire TV, just so it would fit a little bit easier on the hand, but you have plenty of controls right on here, and activating the Google Assistant on the remote works really well. What's the weather like tomorrow?
Tomorrow in Orem, there will be thunderstorms with a high of 63 and a low of 44.
So whenever you activate the button on here, it has the microphone here at the top of the remote. It's not actually listening from the Link Bar itself. So that is one way you can control the Android TV. Now the second way to control the Link Bar is through the Android TV application. Now this is available on Android or iPhones, but in the app it's very simple. You load it up, it puts a code on the screen, and then you can navigate through the menus by pushing up and down and pressing the center button. You also have the option to do voice control right on here, and then you have your home, your pause and play, and your back button on there. Now this app is a little outdated. They haven't really updated the interface for a while, but you do have the option to change to the touchpad. So now I can just swipe and it will change the application there. Now, one thing I do like is if you're using the app, you can still change the volume. So if I press the volume on my phone, you can see that it's changing the volume over there, as well as you can see it down here on the TV. So it's really nice that you have all that ability with the Android TV app and the remote as well. Now I wish they would add a power button to the Android TV remote so I could easily turn on and off the device, but maybe that will come in a future update. Now I really like Android TV because of the app selection as well as the interface here. So this home row at the top, I can easily go through and choose whichever application I want, and I can add my favorite apps here, or I can move them around. So if I go to an application that I like, I can hold down on the home button, I can select move, and I can put it right to the front of all of those applications, so I always know where that one is. Now if there's an application that I'm not using as much, I can hold down and I can go to remove from favorites, and then it moves it away. Now if I go down, you have these different menus or different rows of applications that are offering content for you to watch. So here there is a play next, so it's taking different content that I own and showing me what I should watch. So we were watching Ralph Breaks the Internet and we didn't get all the way through it, and there it's recommending that we go and finish the movie. And if you scroll down here, it's showing Netflix, and we were watching from my kid's profile, so it's showing a bunch of different videos that they would want to watch. And if we go down here, we can see from my YouTube subscriptions, different things that YouTube is recommending for me. Down here, we have a Google Play Movies, where we can see these recommendations and so on. Now, I do like that you can customize this. So if there's one of these that I don't want to see, let's say I don't want to see Pandora music, I can then come down here, move over to the side, and then I can turn that off. And you can really customize how those work. So then the last thing that you really need to know about is anytime if you want to go to an application, even if you're watching a video, all you need to do is hold down the home button and it will pull up a list of all of your applications that you have installed on your TV. So here I can go through and find the app I want or go to a different game. And then I could also open the Google Play Store and I can go and download more applications. Now, as of right now, this has pretty much every streaming app that I would want to use except for Amazon Prime Video. Now, Amazon has come out and said that they're making an Android TV version of the application, and some Android TV devices have that, but as of right now, it is not available for the JBL Link Bar. That being said, you can now use the Amazon Prime video application and Chromecast a video to the JBL Link Bar. So they're getting there, but it's still not officially here as of now. And then at the top here, you do have the option to select to type. You can come over here to input, so you could change the input, or you can go over to the settings here and you can adjust all your settings, your accounts, sounds, the bass, all of that information right over here, remove applications and all that stuff. So that's a basic introduction to Android TV, but overall the JBL Link Bar works really well. Now some people will say that it's not a great Android TV device because it only has 4 gig of internal memory, but even with all of these applications, I haven't had any problem with running out of space. If you do play a lot of games, I would probably recommend getting an NVIDIA Shield Android TV box that has way more space that you can do that on, but I've had no issues with there only being 4 gig of storage on the JBL Link Bar. Now, if you did see Prime Video on here, that's because I tried to sideload it and it just did not work properly. It loads, but it can't actually play anything with sound. So we will need to wait for an official update from JBL to be able to add that application onto the device. So next, let's talk about Chromecast built-in. So if you don't know what a Chromecast is, it's a little dongle you can attach to the back of your TV, and then you can add it to your Wi-Fi and then pick up your phone, open an application like Netflix or YouTube, and play a video right to that Chromecast. So because the JBL Link Bar has Chromecast built in, that means it has those same functions into the TV. So right here you can see it says Chromecast built in, and you can learn more at chromecast.com/built-in. And over here it shows you the time, and then it displays these really pretty pictures as a screensaver whenever you're not using the TV. So the Chromecast built-in pretty much works just as expected. So if I go to my YouTube application, I pull up the different Chromecast devices. I have quite a few here. I changed the name of this to the Link Bar, so I select the Link Bar. Here you can see that it's going to cast from YouTube, and then I can play a YouTube video and it will play that video right here on the screen. And then I can add different videos to the queue and I can do all that. And so if I have other streaming applications, I could pop them right up on the TV without having to use the remote and find that app and everything. Now, another neat thing about Chromecast built-in is if you have other Google Homes in your house, you could actually cast a video to this. So let's say I'm in the basement and my daughter's up here and she wants to watch something. I could ask the Google Home to play Toy Story 2 on the Link Bar, and then it would pop up on here without me having to touch anything, which is really cool. Now, the biggest problem I have about Chromecast built-in is it's not an official Chromecast. You do not have the full functions that a normal Chromecast would be, mainly the ambient mode or being able to adjust the photo frame right here. So I can go in and choose a few different pictures or different categories that I want it to display, but I can't choose my own photos from Google Photos, which is a huge reason just to have a Chromecast so that you can see all of your own pictures up here on the TV. And for whatever reason, Chromecast built-in does not support that basic functionality of being able to go and choose your own Google Photos. So with most of my TVs, even though there's Android TV boxes on them, I still buy a Chromecast so that I can plug it in and display my own pictures. Kind of dumb that I have to do that, but that's just how it is. So Google, if you're listening, please fix that feature with Android TV that you can actually change the screensaver to your own Google Photos. That would be a huge help. Thank you. Now, one more thing that a Chromecast built-in device can't do compared to a regular Chromecast is the ability to be in an audio group. So I can actually pair all of my Google Home devices and regular Chromecast together so I can play a song or any music service that I have that supports Chromecast and play it on all of them at one time. But if you have something with a Chromecast built in, this cannot be included in that audio group. So that's again another reason why I would have a Chromecast here so that I could now have this be a part of the audio group where just by itself it will not have that ability. Now let's move on to the voice activated portion of the JBL Link Bar, or the built-in Google Home portion. So having this is something that I was really excited about to have in a TV. So let's say I couldn't find the remote. I wanted to turn off the TV really quickly. I could just activate the Google Home and turn it off. Well, at first this had that functionality, at least I thought. Over a few attempts, I wasn't able to get it to work. This is what happened. Hey Google, turn off the TV.
Sure, turning off toy room TV.
That's not this TV. A basic function like that should have worked. So after much trial and error, I finally figured out how to do it. Hey Google, turn off.
Sure.
Okay, so a simple command, turn off. You can't use any other phrasing. That's the only way to get it to turn off. And then to turn it on, it works just like expected. Hey Google, turn on.
No problem.
Just took a second, but there it is. This is a problem. It keeps going to the ARC and audio only, and then we have to hit home. I don't know why it's doing that. Kind of a problem, is a little buggy. Now, having the ability to turn on and off the TV on an Android TV isn't like actually supported, so it's really nice to be able to do that. Now, there might be some other Android TVs that do that, but I was using the Nexus player, and forever it was so annoying that it could not actually turn off the TV. So now let's move on to some of the other controls that you would use on the TV. Now, because this does have the full Google Assistant, you should pretty much be able to do anything, home control and all that. So let's test that out. Hey Google, turn off the fan.
You got it, turning the living room ceiling fan off.
Light turns off. Hey Google, turn on the fan.
You got it, turning the living room ceiling fan on.
And that works great. We already tested out the weather, and there's all kinds of different things you could ask. One of the differences between this and something like the smart display is you don't see as much visualization on this that you would see on a smart display. Let's try a few more. Hey Google, what does a dog sound like?
This is a border collie.
And then here on the Android TV, if you have the remote, it's giving you some suggestions of other things that you could ask. So after owning the JBL Link Bar for about a week, it just stopped listening to me. Whenever I tried to activate it, Google Assistant did not hear me, and it was kind of annoying. So I ended up going into the settings, going to the Google app, and then clearing the data, and for whatever reason, that fixed it. And then the problem would happen every week or so. But I did receive an update last week, and since then, I have not had that problem. It actually is much better in activating whenever I try to activate it and listening to me. So there's some good news there. Now next, let's talk about some of the other voice functions you would use on something like a smart TV, playing movies and stuff like that. So let's say I want to play one of my videos. Hey Google, play 10 settings you need to change right now from Tech with Brett on YouTube.
All right, Wanna Be That Song by Brett Eldridge. Playing on YouTube.
No, that was not it.
All right, here's Tech with Brett on YouTube.
A few weeks ago, I flew out to New York City to attend the Sam's. Okay, that works great. Hey Google, fast forward 3 minutes. That works great, and it sounds great too. Hey Google, stop. So even when playing loud sounds, it still was able to hear me and listen to my command. What do you think of the sound? Sounds pretty good, but it's a little bit loud. Hey Google, set the volume to 20. All right, that took about 15 seconds to change the volume. Now, we have been using the Fire TV Cube here for quite a while on this TV, and it did a really good job in changing the volume just because it lowered the volume of the TV a little bit, changed the volume without pausing the video. Now there you saw it pause the video, and I counted about 15 seconds that it did that. So definitely not great. I think it's actually improved with that update a lot, but I'll show you a comparison real quick of how fast you can change the sound with the Amazon Fire TV Cube. Alexa, turn the volume down. So there you can see just how much faster the Fire TV Cube is at changing the volume compared to the JBL Link Bar. So back to the Link Bar, you have all those controls, play, pause, stop, all of that by voice. Now let's talk about something else that is really annoying. So let's say I want to navigate the JBL Link Bar completely by voice. I either have to say I want to open an application or I want to play a certain video, but if you ever want to select something on screen, you have to use a remote. There's no input like select or move right or anything. So let me show you an example of that, and the first part of this I'm actually surprised works. Hey Google, play Brooklyn Nine-Nine from Hulu.
All right, opening Hulu.
So Hulu opened, but now I don't have a way to select my name. Hey Google, select.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help.
So there's not that functionality where you could keep interacting with it by voice. You would have to go and find the remote. So if I click on Brett, then it pops open my Hulu account, and then it takes me to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is what I wanted to watch. And then again here, if I want to resume the episode, I need to find the remote to press play. So pretty annoying that you don't have that functionality, where the Fire TV Cube has been really good at adding the ability to scroll left or right or move up and down and even select videos right on the screen. So that's something that definitely needs to be added to the Google Assistant and the Google Home functionality of the Link Bar. Hey Google, play Toy Story 3.
Okay, opening Google Play Movies and TV like before. To use a different app, say that again and include the name of the app you'd like to use.
So you can play movies from different services. It did default to Toy Story 3 here on Google Play Movies, and even though I asked it to play the movie, it didn't start playing. You have to say the exact phrase to get it to work. Hey Google, play Toy Story 3 from Google Play Movies and TV.
Okay, opening Google Play Movies and TV.
Success, it worked. But one of the problems I have is that whenever I play a movie from here, you see the subtitles, and the only way to turn that off is through the remote. So I don't know if I did something wrong, but kind of annoying that that is still on there. All right, so one more command to try out. Hey Google, play Brooklyn Nine-Nine from YouTube TV.
YouTube TV is either not installed or can't be searched.
So I don't know if you know this, but that's the YouTube TV app right there. So for whatever reason, even though you can Chromecast from a Google Home to a Chromecast YouTube TV, that functionality is not built into here with an Android TV and all this other stuff, the Chromecast and stuff. Even though I have the YouTube TV app right there, it doesn't work. So that's just really annoying that even though the YouTube TV app is right there, I can't actually play a video or a show from the Link Bar without finding my remote. It's not really a lean back experience like I want there to be on my smart TV. So I could go into my phone and Chromecast from the YouTube TV application, but that's something that really needs to be working if YouTube wants this to all be integrated into one and wants me to be able to use YouTube TV more. If I use the remote and go into the application, it works just fine. I'm signed into my account. I can go through and browse through all the shows that I've saved, or if I want to watch live TV, I can do that and it works just fine, but it doesn't have that voice control ability built in, which you think it should have. So here you can go through and see all the different live shows, and everything is right there. So let's try one more voice command to see if it will actually work. Hey Google, open YouTube Kids.
Opening YouTube Kids for Android TV.
Yes, we had a success. So there you go. Some things work great with the voice assistant and just other things do not work. So it seems like I've been complaining a lot about the Google Home integration into the Android TV. There's definitely some work that needs to be done there, but the other thing that I want to talk about is there is a solution to a lot of these problems. Now, of course, this isn't the perfect way to do it, but since I already have the device, I don't really want to return it. I really like the sound of it. So the solution that I've come up with is using another Google Assistant in the room. Now, one of the main goals of the JBL Link Bar was that I didn't need to have another Google Home nearby. I didn't need to have another Chromecast installed on the TV as well. But with the Link Bar, I am going to have to do that for kind of a better solution. So let me talk about one other issue that we've had. Now, this isn't necessarily the JBL Link Bar, but just something that we've noticed in this room. Now, with the Google Nest Hub, I actually have this set up over in the kitchen area on the countertop, and so these were at opposite ends of the room. Now, if we ever tried to activate Google, it would actually activate on pretty much the opposite one we wanted to use. Sometimes it would activate on the Google Nest Hub, or other times it would activate on the TV. Now, if the TV's off, sometimes I would hear a response from the soundbar, and sometimes I didn't hear a response. I just saw it light up and there was no response there. So that is one of the problems. Just because they're in such close proximity, you end up having that problem. Now let's talk about the solution that I have come up with right now until maybe some of the things get updated on the JBL Link Bar. So what I've done is I actually keep the JBL Link Bar muted for the most part. So if I just flip the switch here, I do wish it was a little more clicky, but if I flip the switch, you can see that this is muted. And then I will unmute
The mic's back on.
the Google Nest Hub. Now, what I can do with this is it gives me the ability to control the JBL Link Bar right from the Google Nest Hub. Now, in the Google Home application, I've gone and changed the name of this to Link Bar. I've also gone and set the default video player of this Google Home device to the Link Bar. So anytime I try to play music or videos, it will play on the nice sound system over here. And then it also gives me the ability to turn off the TV from this device. So now if I activate Google in the same room, which pretty much the Nest Hub always hears me, it will make adjustments to the TV. So now that we have the Google Nest Hub set up and the Link Bar set up, we can use all those same commands right on the Google Nest Hub. Hey Google, play Toy Story 3.
Alright, Toy Story 3 from Google Play Movies and TV. Playing on JBL Link Bar.
And then first try, it casts the movie right to the TV with no problem. Hey Google, set the JBL Link Bar volume to 30. There you can see it change the volume very quickly. A little buffering problem there. Hey Google, pause. So the controls from the Nest Hub worked really well with the Link Bar and is actually very quick. You can even change the HDMI. Hey Google, switch Link Bar to HDMI 1.
Sure, switching input to HDMI 1 on the Link Bar.
So I'm actually very impressed with how much control I have from the Google Nest Hub, even without being able to activate the Link Bar itself. Now, the Link Bar does have all of those abilities for power controls and all of that built in. So now that it has that function, I can use this other device as pretty much a full control of the Link Bar. A little confusing, but I'm really excited that all of those functions work. So while using a separate Google Home device is a great solution, it definitely is not the way that I want it to go. So hopefully we'll see some better improvements to the voice control on the JBL Link Bar in the months to come. Now lastly, let's talk about the sound. I'm really impressed with the sound on this thing with the 100 watts that it's able to push out. This is definitely an upgrade to the speakers on the TV. Now you can also get a $300 subwoofer that is able to pair directly to the JBL Link Bar, specifically this one, so you have that extra subwoofer, which would sound really good. I did also forget to mention on the back there is also that Ethernet port if you want to plug directly into the internet. So in conclusion, is this something that I would pick up for the average user? Probably not. There's still some functions that really need to be added. Maybe Google will come out with a software update that has the full function or more ability to the Google Home and an Android TV box. That would be perfect. But as of right now, you might as well go and use the money that you would spend on a $400 soundbar and a $300 subwoofer and put it into something like the NVIDIA Shield that has a little bit more power behind it, and then another soundbar subwoofer combo. So this is definitely a product that I'm really excited to see come to market, but it still has a lot of work to do to be the full experience that I want. But I'm super happy that the JBL Link Bar adds those power controls and some of the other controls that I couldn't do on other Android TV devices. And so I'm pretty happy with the solution of being able to use my Google Nest Hub for now to make those controls and adjust things all from this, even across the room. So there you go, that is the review of the JBL Link Bar. If you guys have any further questions or want me to try out anything on this device, please let me know in the comments below. And if you do want to pick one up, I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to see more videos about Android TV or other Android TV products or Google Home, make sure you check out the playlist over here on the side. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.